Hey everybody, how's it going? My name's Sutton. I too am also sick, or actually I'm getting over a sickness, so I'll be sucking on these cough drops throughout my set. Sorry if it clicks around my mouth and it makes you nervous like this. I can't hear that. Like that. That was me actually biting into the lozenge there. 1 second. Okay, so tonight I'm going to be talking about two things, stress and stress relievers, okay? There are a lot of things that stress people out. Plenty of things. I mean, so, for example, you might get stressed out by finals, which are upcoming 4 weeks away, I believe. Those keeping track. Semester is slowly winding down or quickly winding down, whichever way stuff winds these days. And so something that can be a huge stress relief is finding a job. A lot of my friends are trying to find a job. It's not a joke, they're actually trying to find a job. So, sitting around here, if you know of anyone with jobs.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah. Another thing that stresses, well, so they came out with this study last week, okay? I believe this was published on the Register, UK newspaper. The study found out that girls or women like to talk 3 times as much as men. 3 times as much. And I was thinking to myself, okay, this makes a lot of sense. This makes a lot of sense. I can see how members of the opposite gender could find talking to each other a stress relief. I'll understand that. I accept that. I understand that. I accept that. The problem is that when they talk so much, it gives me a lot of stress. So it's one of those things that's kind of like a correlation there between the two. There are many other things that, can stress you out or relieve some stress. One thing that relieves stress for guys usually is taking a dump. Taking a huge dump.
Yeah.
There are very few things in the world that are as stress relieving as taking a huge duke. So I might be alienating half the audience here, but trust me on this one. Think of how good it is to be like, oh, did you hear what Jimmy said to me today? That's what we feel when we're taking that Tuesday afternoon pool run. And so when we're just, doing the deed, not that deed, the other deed, we like to read. I like to read Wired magazine. A few other books. They're sometimes just hanging around the toilet. Sometimes it's the loyal one. Sometimes it's like, oh, what's my dormoscope? Did the basketball team win last week? No. But I found this book floating on or around our toilet, not floating in our toilet. And it's called If. Questions for the Game of Life. And on the back it says, it's a question, it's a game, it's a journey, and now it's a book. So I'm going to share with you some things that I found from this book that are kind of disturbing, but we'll get to that. I'll first read 2 sentences from the intro. If is the ultimate book about fantasy. Each of its questions is meant to spark and tantalize the imagination. Cool. Sounds smart. Let's go. So right now, I'm sitting down with John. I'm like, oh, this looks like a good book, and I flip open to a page. Waiting for my memory to be tantalized. And I'm reading along, and it's like, if you could easily visit one known planet, which one would you go to? Probably Mars, because it's the only one that would crush my body from the gravity. I keep reading. If you could have been the author of any single book already written, which book would you want to have penned? Probably the Bible. Think about it. There's nothing to think about, you just have a really good pickup line at parties. And then I got to this one, and I started getting really concerned about the content of this book. It says, if you had to lose everyone you know in a tragic accident, except one person, who would you choose to survive? That scared the shit out of me. I was not expecting to have to make this gigantic valuation of who the most important person in my life is right now, and I still can't. But I kept reading on, okay. And I come to, if you had to kill someone you know, who would it be? And how would you do it? I was like, okay. By now, I'm completely done with my poop. But I'm just extremely intrigued as to what else this could have. So it continues to get more just messed up. It says, if you could commit one crime without being caught, what crime would you commit? Probably masturbation. Well, that one's not that bad. But then, here we go. Yes, here. Okay, this one is extremely disturbing. It says, if you could have one entire country, quote, depopulated, end quote, as your private property, which country would you take as your own? I think the word depopulated in quotes here is a euphemism for genocide. Don't think that's a very apt question to be asking someone. I got a few more here. Let me see if they're worth reading out. If you had to assassinate the President of the United States, at what event would you assassinate him or her at? Times are changing. And how would you do it? And I was thinking, wait a minute. Who's watching me read this book? Meanwhile, outside I hear this.